Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Kodesh. Double honors unto the apostles and elders of GMS, to the true leaders of Israel today, and salutations to all of the Akim who do this work in truth and sincerity, who are risking their lives and their freedoms to do so, as well as the scattered Israelites who come looking like the heathen but are not, by way of their forefathers' seeds who are Israelite men. The true name of the Most High is Yahweh, and his son's name is Yahushai, and the Lord's holy chosen people are the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, as well as the ones who suffer under the curses in the book of Deuteronomy. My name is Akalia, and this video is on the prophecy of World War III, though I'm thinking that it may extend into various topics really, because I'm seeing from this article that I have here from RT, the entire world will tremble what happens if the US attacks Iran. But then as you can see here in the red, breaking news, right? RT puts a headline like that in red when there's a sort of breaking news or what's the hottest thing going on around the world, and it says China imposes extra 84% tariff on US goods. All right, so it looks like this happened just not too long ago today. But I'll get to that. Okay, we'll see what's happening there. But first, let's take a look at this. So the entire world will tremble. What happens if the US attacks Iran? Washington might prefer limited military action, but the state of Israel, who are the Israelis, who are the small hats, who are the Edomites, and the Edomites, according to the Bible, are not the Lord's holy chosen people. The Israelites are. Okay, just making that clear. But Israel is likely to put out all the stops, and the effects will reverberate globally. So the state of Israel, those people that are dwelling in our land today, us, we're the Israelites, and that is our land, that is our inheritance that Yahweh Shemishai gave to our forefathers and was promised to us. These people there, they seem to be very bloodthirsty. They appear to be, there's nothing else to say about it. They are that. They have this spirit upon them of just being obsessed with causing destruction and using the sword, which, that is Esau's blessing. Esau was given a blessing by our forefather Isaac, and he would have the blessing of the fatness of the earth, the dew of heaven, and the sword. And Esau, that these Israeli people are the state of Israel, they are Esau, so they enjoy using their blessing, which is that sword. And you can see it, man. Y'all know what it is with what's going on with that. Okay, and they refuse to stop. Okay, and every time they come out and speak about any kind of situation, they are very clearly not, very clearly don't have any intentions of stopping what they're doing, right? Which, the situation of there being wars and stuff like that around the world lets us know that who and what they are and who they are not. All right, because this is spirit of Yahweh Shemishai, man. It just leads you to where the Lord chooses. All right, so Isaiah chapter 2 and verse 1, the word that Isaiah the son of Amos saw concerning Judah and Jerusalem, and it shall come to pass in the last days that the mountain of the Lord's house shall be established in the top of the mountains, and shall be exalted above the hills, and all nations shall flow unto it. And many people shall go and say, Come ye, and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord Yahweh, to the house of the power of Jacob. And he will teach us his ways, and we will walk in his paths. For out of Zion shall go forth the law and the word of the Lord Yahweh from Jerusalem. So when it is that the Lord's holy chosen people, the Israelites, are back in our land, because we're not back in our land as yet, then we will be establishing the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemishai. And of course, our Lord Yahushua will be ruling as well. And the other nations, the heathen nations, they're going to come to us and they're going to be seeking to learn our ways, because they're going to see how beneficial and how profitable it is when it is that you follow the law, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Shemishai. And we will follow them perfectly, because we will no longer be in this flesh. Hebrews chapter 8 talks about it. All right, so we will be perfect. And so the heathen will see how prosperous we are and be like, hey, we want to be like them. So it says, and he shall judge among the nations and shall rebuke many people, and they shall beat their swords into plowshares and their spears into pruning hooks. Nation shall not lift up sword against nation, neither shall they learn war anymore. Neither shall they learn war anymore. That is what will happen when the Israelites are in rulership. So the Israelites are not in rulership today, right? And have not returned to the land. And that's why you see World War III about to pop off. And you see all of the geopolitical tensions happening. I mean, look at it. It's so much at the forefront of what's going on in the world right now. And so, a part of Bible prophecy, in this time, this period of time, which is the time of the rulership of the Edomites, the so-called white man, World War III is going to happen. Revelation 11 and verse 14. The second woe is past, talking about World War II, and behold, the third woe cometh quickly, which is talking about World War III. All right, so that's on the table. And that's why there is such conversation as this right here and such articles. Okay, so it says conflict between the US, Israel, and Iran is escalating rapidly. Now, these are all major players in the World War III prophecy. The United States, which is Mystery Babylon the Great, also known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. And then you have Israel, the state of Israel, the Israelis, which is their Edomites, right? The US, that's led by Edomites as well. That is the main hub, the main station of the Edomites, America, right? And then you have Iran, which is heathen. And Iran was once known as Persia. And their biblical heritage is that they are the Elamites. All right. All of these three are major players in the World War III prophecy. And the scriptures mention them. And Russia is also a major player as well. According to Israeli sources cited by the Daily Mail, the US and Israel, the state of Israel, may launch strikes against Iran in the coming weeks. The potential decision for military action is linked to growing concerns about Tehran's nuclear program and its increasing regional activity. Now, regarding this, right, World War III is in fact coming, but the Lord also let us know that during a certain period of time, we are going to hear of wars and rumors of wars, and that nation shall rise against nation and kingdom against kingdom, and that there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places. So we're in that period of time where we're hearing all of these things. And I bring it up because World War III is most certainly coming. It's a part of Bible prophecy. However, the finale of it, where it's going to turn nuclear, that finale will not occur and cannot occur until the mark of the beast prophecy, which is the microchip, is fully fulfilled. You know, that prophecy has to come to pass. The hour of temptation has to come to pass, all right, before it goes nuclear and America is destroyed by thermonuclear fire. So we're just in this period of time, man, but it shows you the times that we're in, all right? Which the times that we're in is that we're close to the end of Esau's kingdom. Look at what's happening right now. Look at what the wicked elite of Esau, Edom are doing right now. They are attacking the economy, right? With this situation, well, hold on. Right. With this tariff situation and the ramifications of it, they're going to be quite serious, right? Which they are intentionally tearing down the current economic system as we know it so that they can introduce the next economic system, which is going to be a digital economic system, right? A digital payment system. Okay, everything is going to be digital and it's going to be run on a digital system of sorts. And, you know, they have the central bank digital currencies being built up. You have the digital identities being built up. They've spoken about it as the fourth industrial age, also the intelligence revolution. I'm sure they might even name it something else however, you know, because they always rename it, but it's all the same thing. It's really Esau Edom's New World Order. All right, so all of this is at hand, man. So while it is that the powers around the world, the major players regarding World War III are tensions are escalating, you have the economy on its way to crashing and failing. Okay. Regarding this article, tensions in the Middle East have intensified significantly following a statement. Oh, and then there's also pestilence that is brewing, that the World Health Organization declared that another pandemic can happen at any day, as soon as tomorrow, right? So many things are going on, and when you know Bible prophecy and you look at Bible prophecy and measure it through current events, yes, it is that time. Okay, so tensions in the Middle East have intensified significantly following a statement by US President Donald Trump at the end of March, threatening Iran with an unprecedented military strike and stricter sanctions if Tehran refuses to enter negotiations on a new nuclear deal. According to Axios, Trump sent a letter to the Iranian leadership giving them a 2-month deadline until the end of May to begin negotiations. The letter was reportedly firm in tone, and Trump made it clear that the consequences of refusal would be devastating. Israel views the current political situation with Trump back in office as a perfect window of opportunity to pressure Iran. According to Israeli officials, such a moment may not come again. They also point to the advancement of Iran's nuclear program, which in their view is nearing a critical stage that is raising alarm within the international community. Okay, so they're doing their thing, but let's relate it to Bible prophecy. Now, World War III is incoming, right? That is bound to happen. How are these US, Israel, and Iran related to the scriptures? Let's get it. All right, so regarding the US and the state of Israel, it says in Jeremiah 50 and verse 45, therefore hear ye the counsel of the Lord Yahweh that he had taken against Babylon, talking about America, and his purposes that he had purposed against the land of the Chaldeans. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them. So the least of the flock is talking about the Israelis, the state of Israel. And it says that they shall draw them out. So by the actions of the state of Israel, they are going to draw America out to war. And you can very clearly see by the way of everything that's being said and how Israel is speaking and America is speaking that this prophecy is on its way, right? But it also says, surely he shall make their habitation desolate with them, because they're going to lose. So we know already that they're going to lose. So it's just about, watching and seeing how it all transpires. Okay, so that's their involvement. And then regarding Iran, okay, because they're talking about attacking Iran, but there are going to be some, they won't just be able to attack Iran and get away with it. Ezekiel 38 and verse 2, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Now, this is talking about the Russians as they dwell in that land today that Gog and Magog once dwelt. All right, the Russians are Edomites. And say, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, behold, I am against thee, O God, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, talking about the Russians. And I'll turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I'll bring thee forth, and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor. So Yahweh Shemishah is going to put the spirit upon the Russians to go to war. Even a great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And they will also have a great alliance. Okay, a great company. Okay, so it mentions Persia. Persia today is known as Iran. They are the biblical Elamites. Ethiopia and Libya, this represents the so-called African countries, which are the Hamites. With them, all of them with shield and helmet. And you can see by way of what's going on in the world, the other heathen that are joined onto Russia, right? You can look at the BRICS, BRICS, and that entire alliance, which does include Russia, the African nations, and Iran, plus China and India, etc. Okay? Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Now this is talking about Turkey. Turkey is currently a part of NATO, but Turkey has spoken very much against the state of Israel. And over the years, from observations, that relationship has been deteriorating. So eventually it's going to come to a point where Turkey fully joins with Russia and her allies. Then it says, and we know it's Turkey, the same situation with Gog and Magog. Turkey dwells in that land today, the Turkish people, that Gomer and Togarmah once dwelt. Okay? So be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And you can even pull up a biblical map on Google and be able to see these things. So verse 7 says that Russia is a guard unto its allies. So when it is that the state of Israel and America, whenever it is that they decide to attack Iran, Russia is going to go to Iran's defense. And it's going to get quite It's going to be a situation over there. Okay, so this is what is on the table, right? And as you can see, Yahweh Shemishai is stirring up the spirits of these people, man, the heathen, okay, to go to war, right? And it's going to be over there in the so-called Middle East, which is Western Asia. That is the area of contention. Now, with all of this going on, you also have this situation with the whole tariffs thing. China imposes extra 84% tariff on US goods. The move comes after President Donald Trump slapped a total tariff of 104% on Chinese imports. Now, I'm not going to go into the article, I'm just going to speak on the situation at hand. This situation draws parallels to previous situations with tariffs that were included. And one situation was that in the 1920s, the Smoot, what is it called? Smoot, let me see, Smoot tariff, right? The Smoot-Hawley tariff, right, which occurred in 1930, caused severe damage to the economy, which then led to the Great Depression of the 1930s. And then from there, it led into World War III. It's the same playbook. It's the same thing that's happening once again. Here it is, the tariffs are here, and now the economy is going to be attacked. But you see, this time, they're doing it so that they can bring in their new financial system, right? With the new world order at hand. That's what it's all about. And it is sure to collapse because the scriptures say in the book of Ecclesiastes that there's no new thing under the sun, right? As I mentioned, it's the same thing that's happening again. And look at this, in ancient Egypt, now America's modern day Egypt, America has been deemed spiritually Egypt in Revelation chapter 11, verse 8. So here it is in Genesis chapter 47 and verse 15. And even before this account, right, there was a famine that occurred in ancient Egypt. And famine is a part of these end time prophecies, these end game prophecies, which is the end of Esau's kingdom. All right. So then in Genesis 47 and verse 15, it says, and when money failed in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came unto Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence, for the money faileth. So the money failed in ancient Egypt and America's modern day Egypt. And look at it, they're going to make the money fail again. They're going to make it collapse. They're going to make this current monetary system collapse, and they're going to usher in their new monetary system, which they would have so conveniently been prepared for because they've been developing it with their central bank digital currencies, etc. So this is all at hand, and they're going to do that, collapse the current system to bring in the microchip, right? Because the microchip works on digital payments, and the central bank digital currencies and the digital identities is going to be a part of that. The digital identity stores your financial information on it, all of your information on it, really. Medical information, government information, every single thing about your life, telecommunications, social media, everything, right? That has been proposed by the World Economic Forum. So everything is going to be tied to that digital ID, and then they're simply just going to store that digital ID onto the microchip, and the microchip, it will present that information that is on it, which is going to be everything about you and your life, and they're going to microchip people, and that's the prophecy at hand. And then the microchip is going to be an all for one use. This is their plan. This is their agenda, right? And they have already stated that, I believe it was in 2017 or 2016, that in the next 10 years, Klaus Schwab said it, in the next 10 years, that people will be microchipped. So they've let the world know about what is going on. It's just that y'all people like to be live in your own bubble and whatever else. But regardless of all of that, Yahweh Shemishah is going to bring about these prophecies, and the prophecies are at hand. World War III is at hand. The Mark of the Beast prophecy is at hand. Jacob's trouble is at hand. All of these things, man, we're entering into perilous times, and we know we're in those perilous times because the scriptures say that in perilous times you shall see how people are, and the people are just the same exact way. The scriptures are the absolute. All right, it is the main guide, right? To look at how things are and what things are coming. So all of these things are at hand, man. Okay, so the message is to repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. All these things around us are about to fail. Life as you know it is about to fail. Everything that is in this world is going to be dissolved. All right? There's nothing to this world led by wickedness and everything. Let go of it, man. Let go of it. This ain't it. There's a new world to come. You know, the scriptures say a new heaven and a new earth where where there's righteousness, right? And that is what I look forward to. All right, the kingdom of Yahweh Shemishai. So that's all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shemishai by Shemkal Kodesh. Shalom.